Hello and welcome to my channel, Blue Snakes and More. Today we're reading the story I'm writing called Amalgam Story. So please like this video and subscribe to this channel. And for more videos, like to watch my other house channel, A&A Snakes and Stuff. My youngest son's channel, He Needs Toys and Games, or my oldest son's channel, Little Chris 10. Now let's dive into the video. The word never agreed on the exact moment everything changed. Some said it was the flash in the sky, an unnatural streak of fire that burned blue instead of orange, slicing through the atmosphere like a promise or a warning. Others swore it began years earlier, in a laboratory filled with quiet desperation and the echo of war drums. But if you asked him, the man at the center of it all, he would tell you it started with a choice. Before the sky split open, before the serum ever touched his veins, he was just a man who refused to look away. He had been small once, not just in stature, but in the way the world treated him. Overlooked, passed over, dismissed. He had stood in long lines with other hopers, watching stronger men step forward while he was told to step aside. Too weak, too fragile, not fit for what the world needed. But he had something they didn't measure: reserve. So when the war escalated beyond borders and into something darker, something that twisted science into weapons, he volunteered again and again until someone finally said yes. The program wasn't meant to create a hero. It was meant to create an answer, a solution to a problem that had grown too large for ordinary men to solve. The scientists spoke in hushed tones about optimization and potential amplification. They never used words like hope. The serum was only the beginning. They injected it slowly, watching every flicker of his vitals, every tremor of his muscles. It burned like fire in his veins, like his body was being rewritten from the inside out. Bones strengthened, muscles surged, his senses sharpened until he could hear the hum of electricity in the walls, feel the heartbeat of the people around him. But then something went wrong, or right, depending on who told the story. At the exact moment the serum reached its peak, the sky above the facility erupted. The object that had been falling for hours finally struck. Not the ground, but the world. The impact sent a shockwave through everything. Power grids failed, communications died, and in that instant something impossible happened. The energy released by the crash, alien, radiant, unknowable, poured into the lab like a second injection. It found him, where the serum had been designed to enhance human potential. The energy did something else entirely. It didn't just amplify him, it transformed him. His body became something new, not just stronger, but unbreakable. Not just faster, but unstoppable. His cells drank in the strange radiation like it was meant for him, like it recognized him. He didn't scream, he stirred. When the light faded, the room was silent. Machines hung dead, scientists stared in disbelief. And in the center of it all stood a man who was no longer just a man. He looked at his hands first. They felt different. Lighter but stronger, like they could crush steel or lift mountains. He took a step, and the floor cracked beneath him. Fear flickered through the room, not his, theirs. He realized then what he had become: not a soldier, not an experiment, but something else entirely. Something the world had never seen before. They gave him a name, not the one he was born with, but one that felt larger, heavier, a symbol more than an identity. Sentinel. At first they used him the way they intended. Missions no one else could survive. Battles that would have cost thousands of lives ended in minutes. He moved like a force of nature, faster than bullets, stronger than tanks, unyielding against anything thrown at him. But it wasn't just his strength that made him different, it was his heart. He refused to become a weapon. Every mission, every fight, he made choices. He saved people he wasn't ordered to save. He spared enemies when he could have ended them. He questioned commands that didn't sit right in his gut. That made him dangerous, not to the enemy, to the people who created him. They began to worry. A being with that much power, who didn't follow orders blindly, was unpredictable. And unpredictability in their world was unacceptable, so they tried to control him. At first it was subtle, adjusted missions, limited information. Then it escalated, containment protocols, fail-safes, contingency plans designed specifically for him. He noticed, of course he did. He could hear their whispers through walls. See the hesitation in their eyes, feel the shift in how they treated him. He wasn't their hero anymore. He was their problem. The breaking point came on a mission that should have been simple. A city on the edge of collapse. A threat growing in its core. Something born from the same kind of twisted science that created him. They sent him in with one directive: eliminate the threat at all costs. When he arrived, he found something different. Not a monster, a person. Changed, yes. Dangerous, absolutely. But not beyond saving. He hesitated. This was all it took. The failsafe activated. Pain unlike anything he had ever felt tore through him. Not physical, but deeper. Something embedded in him, hidden within the serum, triggered by doubt. They had built a leash into his very being. For the first time since his transformation, he fell. The person he was sent to eliminate looked at him, not with hatred, but with understanding. You're not their weapon, they said. He knew that, but knowing and acting were two different things. He forced himself to stand. The pain clawed at him, trying to drag him back down, to remind him of his place. He refused. For the first time, he pushed against the leash. It nearly broke him, but not quite. Something inside him, something older than the serum, stronger than the alien energy, held firm. His will. The pain faded. The leash snapped. Far away, alarms blared in the control room. Monitors went dark. The failsafe, their last line of control, was gone. He looked at the person in front of him. I'm not here to destroy you, he said. I'm here to help. Any minute. That was the moment the world truly changed. Not when the sky split open, not when the serum transformed him, but when he chose to stand against the very people who made him. From that day forward, Sentinel was no longer under anyone's command. He became something else entirely, a protector not bound by orders, but by principle. A symbol not of power, but of responsibility. The governments of the world didn't know what to do with him. Some tried to bring him back under control. Others wanted him gone entirely. A few saw what he truly was and hoped he would stand with them. But he didn't belong to any of them. He belonged to the people. When disaster struck, he was there before anyone could call for help. When conflicts erupted, he stood between both sides. Not as a conqueror, but as a shield. He lifted collapsed buildings, stopped missiles mid-flight, and carried entire cities through moments that would have destroyed them. And yet, for all his power, he remained grounded. He remembered what it was like to be overlooked, to be told he wasn't enough, to be small in a world that valued strength above all else. That memory guided him, because he knew something the world often forgot. Strength wasn't just about power. It was about choice. Every day he chose to be better than what he was made to be. Every day he chose to protect instead of dominate. Every day he chose to stand, not because he was ordered to, but because it was right. And in a world that had grown used to heroes who fought for glory or vengeance, that choice made him something truly extraordinary. Not just a super soldier, not just a being of unimaginable power, but a symbol of what humanity could be at its best. Unbreakable, unyielding, and above all good. Thank you for watching this video, and peace out to the next one.